drop when she come around. I feel my breath to stop in my lungs now. She's turning everything upside down and the inside out. Well, I'm just trying to ride it out. I sit back, the pressure's dropping now. Hold tight, she's under a lightning. I sit back and fall right back to sleep. Hold tight, she's under a lightning. I sit tight, it's under a lightning. Hold tight, it's under a lightning. I sit tight, it's under a lightning. If you wanna start your stuff, then you're never gonna get enough. Give you all the time I've got. If you want to, then you can, but you're never gonna understand. You just can't connect the dots. Sit back, the pressure's dropping now. Hold tight, she's under a lightning. I sit back and fall right back to sleep. Hold tight, she's under a lightning. I sit tight, she's under a lightning. Hold tight, she's under a lightning. Hold tight, she's under a lightning. Sit back, the pressure's dropping now. Hold tight, she's under a lightning. Sit back and fall right back to sleep. Hold tight, she's under a lightning. Sit tight, she's under a lightning. Hold tight, she's under a lightning. Sit tight, she's under a lightning. It's under a lightning. It's under a lightning. It's under a lightning. She's a rain dance, rolling thunder. She's a wave and she's about to pull me under. She got everybody looking so shook, from the president to the common crook. I feel the pressure drop when she come around. I feel my breath to stop in
And we're looking at this. There we are. Hey everybody, I'm Odin, and welcome back to the Quest for Golden Age. Quick disclaimer, there was a recording and streaming issue on my end, so there's a small chance, but still a chance, that the last session has not aired in some kind of way and will not air, so if things don't make sense, I apologize. I'll do my best with the recap. And without further ado, the players. Fire Genasi.
Hey, I'm Tarfun, or Tofu. I play Zardos, the male tiefling artificer. Yeah.
The elf, a fighter. Alright. So, last we left our miscreants turned hero. They had ventured out of the city after a teary reunion with Shax and his brother, where Shax learned that he had become an uncle and has a nephew named after him. Whew. Our trio ventured off in Jem's skyship towards a mountain to the far east, within the depths of the Withered Forest, the realm of the Unseelie Fae. After a little blundering through the forest, on nobody's fault at all, just nature, you know, the carved columns of an entrance into a cave were discovered, and primordial runes within. The group set up camp, but then a strange rumbling and what Jem recognized as primordial language broke through their attempted rest, and an elemental guardian defended this cavern against the intruders. Failing to do so, with the combined effort of the three, Jem and Shax were able to land definitive killing blows on this creature. And seeing a light at the back of this cavern, Jem rushes forward to discover a crumbled room, large domed ceiling, and at the center, a statue of a humanoid male sitting cross-legged with multiple arms, reaching down and cradling a glowing, pulsing green gem across the room. And Jem, you recognized this as a likeness of the primordial titan Grumbar, lord of the earthen elemental plane. And with that, it was a fairly straightforward session. That's pretty much all there was.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, Jem, you were at the entrance of this room. Zaros and Shax, you were beside her, having just slain a large earth elemental. And there's just boom, 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 green pulse throbbing like a heartbeat in front of you.
Quick question.
Hit me.
Would my detect magic be up still by chance? Has it been 10 minutes since we entered into the cavern?
Yes, you had been in the cavern for a couple, like an hour or so, as Jem got lost and started to set up camp and the whole shebang.
Okay. Okay. That's it for now.
All right. What are you guys doing?
I can't remember. Did the pulsing start after we took down the Guardian, or did we just notice it?
You noticed it after you took down the Guardian. You had seen a green light at the back of the room, but you had assumed it was one of the orbs that light certain parts of this space. But as you had moved to this center portion of this room and you were able to see straight down the hall, you noticed that it was throbbing.
I remember grabbing pieces of the body of the
You did. You broke off a piece.
Yeah. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm not feeling that great after that. As much as I'd like to explore this next room, maybe a break. I'd like to rest.
I do not think that is a bad idea. Plus, as majestic as this seems, I think we should take this slowly.
Yes, yes. And there's a lot to document already at 11:05, so take a break, go back to the room where we set up camp, try to rest.
Yep.
Take
My
some
ro-
time after going.
Yes, it is good to see you above ground.
And you haven't given me any actual so good input on how it was to be buried alive.
Amarok, coming through just a little quiet. For me, I don't know if that's for anybody else.
He's mostly okay for me.
He's kind of okay for me.
Kind of okay. Let me
Lately, everybody's been quiet for me, but that's something on my end.
just going deaf.
More or
Yeah.
less.
I can
Slipshinitis.
make it.
I actually got told I have
think
a
that's gonna
permanent.
be.
No, I
That's
just
what I have permanent hearing.
cranked you up for me.
Air Force, so.
Nice.
all right. Should be good. Okay, Jim, I would say with your passive perception, as you're standing at like the yeah, you have a 19 passive. It's nuts. As you're standing at the entrance of this room and you look around, it is not a large chamber. The chamber you are in is probably twice the size of the one that's ahead of you. And as you look through the ceiling, the domed ceiling, is a network of, and I would say, as a druid, you are fairly certain it is tree roots that just encase this whole space. And besides the statue, it's empty.
Okay. I think we're still gonna go back to the camp.
Yep, just
Take a look.
letting you know.
Appreciate it.
Never wash over anything, because you never know.
Yep.
And my alarm should still be up.
Yes,
Because that lasts for like 8 hours.
it does, it does. Alright, so you guys head back into the room where your bedrolls and a fire had been spread out, and you can go back to the meal that was left abandoned as you sprung into action. Alright, so are we attempting a short rest or a long rest here?
What time of day is it at this point?
It was late afternoon when you got here.
Yeah.
So you'd been here for an hour or two, so you're getting towards evening. And say it's probably like it's dinner time.
Gotcha. Okay.
It is dinner time. Thank you.
True that, yo. Liquid dinner right here.
Well, what are we feeling? Long rest, short rest?
Yeah, I only needed a short rest, really, but
I didn't expend a lot of spell slots on that, so I could probably manage.
Yeah, I'm okay. I can manage.
So let's do a short rest, and then. And then after that, investigate the area.
I say, Jem, I believe you still have a point of exhaustion, but it's only you, because you exhausted yourself climbing the mountain,
Yes.
and then Shax began to carry you.
Yeah. Still have level 1 exhaustion. So I do need a long rest, but that's if we want to go into the next area, then I can get by with a short rest.
Yeah, it's up to you guys. You can attempt a long rest if you'd like.
Or we
I think we short rest now. Try to figure out what's in here, and if we are unsuccessful in discovering what's in this place, then we can long rest and try again tomorrow.
That sounds fine by me.
Okay.
Alright.
Easy enough. You sit down and do a short rest.
Fantastic.
Wait for Tarfoon to come. No, it's not. It's just not right. Tofu.
It's tofu. It's tofu.
Sorry, I had something like sticking in my foot.
Ooh, that's unpleasant. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was very strange. So, short rest.
Yes.
I heard all of it.
It's a good thing we weren't talking shit then.
I'm always talking shit.
Yeah.
Oh, we know. Don't worry.
Good. Have
And temp HP would be gone at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so short rest.
Yep.
0.
5.
Yeah, I'd use 2.
Outside the half health.
You're fine.
Yeah, and that's why we're resting. Because I was, fine.
What's fine?
I mean, would I have 2 of those kinds of fights in a row for you?
Absolutely.
Have I ever done that to you before?
Without question.
I have never done that to you before.
Just because you haven't done it doesn't mean I don't expect you not to do it.
Damn Skippy.
No faith. No faith. All right.
No, not in the slightest.
Everybody short rest, rolled your hit die, you're good to go?
Yep.
All right.
Good.
So what are you doing?
Sorry, you good. Ladies first, bitch.
Woo!
Wow.
Whoa, finally.
Damn.
Spicy.
I would like to slowly venture forth, look at the walls, checking for markings, runes, script, anything like that, as I slowly make my way towards the pulsating glow
Okay.
on all of the walls leading from the camp to.
So as you go through the chamber that you're, or not the chamber you're in, but the place where you fought the Earth Elemental and walk through that hallway, it's much more of the same. As you're looking through, it's just this, again, a lot of it's broken, but you see a lot of the repetitions in different ways. Balance. You see the word balance in roots and earth and heart and praises to Grumbar over and over again. This is, from the best of your ability, you can see that this is a place of primordial worship. And as you reach the entrance of this domed room, there are only the surrounding circular walls. There's no paths or anything. It's just crumbled stone leading up to this statue. But if you'd like, you can inspect the exterior walls of this round chamber as well.
I would like to.
Sure. Go ahead and give me an investigation check in this new space.
Investigation.
Investigation.
Not great.
11.
11.
What you do notice right away as you start to inspect the walls is the script is gone. Here there are carvings, diagrams, They don't make a whole lot of sense to you, but you see a figure that seems to be similar to the statue at the center of the room. You assume it is Groombar. And as you look, you see it goes clockwise around to the left of where you enter and around to also where you enter on the opposite side. You see what appears to be a depiction of Groombar creating the world and the earth that shapes it.
I will be jotting all of this down in my notebook, trying to get as much detail as I possibly can with all of the drawings and any kind of verbiage at all or anything like that. I've entered the room at this point, yes?
I would say you can tell from where you're standing, you're probably like a foot in and like looking at the wall, and you can see that it is the depiction of that. You haven't gone around the outskirts of it. It's half the size of the room you were just in, but it's still rather large.
Yeah. I'll yell back to the group. If it's fine with both of you, I'm going to go investigate the pulsing rock. Hopefully I don't die.
While he would have been doing a lot of the checking everything, I probably would have been taking 10 minutes to ritually cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
And then I will actually go and join him. Or her. My bad.
No worries, no worries. Okay. Zaros.
Yep.
As you close the distance and look at this stone, I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Ew. Okay.
You look at it first.
Okay, it is caught because I have it on my mount of my TV monitor. Alright. 13 plus 1. 14.
14. Okay. You cast this spell, and then you step into the room. And you just see this bright green light. It is significantly more vibrant than when you were looking at it plainly. And as you close the distance, it starts to flash and strobe. And just before you are blinded, you see the color spectrum. Every school of magic exists in this item, and it flares out brilliantly and causes you to be blinded at the moment.
Cool. Yeah.
It's essentially like a flashbang just went off in your eyes.
Yep.
Where is he located to?
Yeah.
He's right beside you. He was walking up with you.
Okay. You alright?
I'd probably just like stand there, stunned by what I saw until I couldn't see anything anymore. And I'm just gonna stand there probably for like a minute and not say anything, and just like, and then after I'd be like, no, not at all, but yes, at the same time.
Details. Banana. Details.
I'm blind.
I would
Hand in front of his face.
I would say you were not entirely, but it is like I said, it's a flashbang just went off in your eyes. It was
Flashbang?
yeah, it was like it blind. You are considered blinded at the moment, but your vision didn't just go black. It is a...
Yeah.
You just stared at the fucking sun explode in your eyes, so it is just... You can sort of see Jem move into your periphery.
Okay. Well, more of like I can see much less. It is so fucking bright.
What's right?
Well,
You just not moving for a second.
here.
Jim. It's
Yes.
I cast detect magic so I could try to figure out what kind of magic might be emanating from it, or if there's any sort of traps, or in case we
Smart.
want to remove it. Well, I only got the chance to look at the gem, and
What
It had-
did you see?
normally you know how it tells you what type of magic it is.
Yes.
Well, it is magic,
I would assume.
all of them.
What?
There's
It-
only one.
It is
What do you mean?
No.
all of them?
no. So Shaq's magic is defined down into multiple different schools, like math, language, like schools and school. I don't know, and I don't know how old. And if you had,
I beg of you,
Goes
do
back
not
then.
explain magic to an elf. I mean, there's only one object. You mean the one object is every school of magic?
oh yes, well, as far as I can tell, I'm like half blind right now, so I can't see anything else. It's just
It's
very
sad.
bright.
It's sad that the one that hits things professionally had to prod you to give the information that you learned.
Well, I'm sorry, I can't see right now. I'm kind of discombobulated.
Words next time. More detail. And just Jem whispers to herself. I thought he was the intellectual.
Jesus. Jem, I will say you noticed Zaros flinch and this effect come over them as one of the pulses happened.
Okay. It won't do what they did. Let's see. No, I don't want to do that yet. Still learning all the spells that I have. That's why. Yeah. Okay. I will slowly make my way into the room. But before I step into the room, looking at the floor, do I see any of the drawings or anything like? It's on the walls, but is there like any kind of depiction on the floor?
Nothing on the floor.
I would slowly make my way in, cautiously.
Okay. Move forward. No issue.
I would like to make my way in so that I can get a more close and personal view of the statue itself before I inspect the gem.
Okay. And I will activate this map. And let's switch this over to
Ma'am.
that. So this is the room you are in. And you
I
want...
can see nothing because it's a black map. Still see nothing.
Strange.
This is the ride.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it goes. Let's plop you there. Plop you there.
I see
Plop
me.
you there.
I see me.
Mine is not loading at all.
Oh, that's not good at all. Then...
In
Lighting.
the beginning, there was only darkness.
Boom.
There it is.
Boom.
We can see the
I've started to learn how to do these things a little. It just takes a minute. Alright, but you said you were going to inspect the statue before getting closer.
Yes, I would like. Well, I would like to get close, but what I would like to do is I would actually like to get up to where the statue is, like obviously cautiously, slowly, so that it happens in between,
Mhm.
But and then do a full circle around the statue, kind of like getting a view of the whole thing, trying to see if there's any primordial script on it or anything of that nature.
Okay. Investigation or perception?
I'm gonna do perception because I have advantage, so I don't have to roll with disadvantage.
Smart. Spend a lot of investigation and perception in this, but I mean, you're researching a ruin, so.
Fine me. That was not the greatest roll. Well, it's not bad. 15.
15. Okay. The first thing you notice, especially as you close the distance and get close enough where the pulse of light coming from this gemstone isn't blocking what you can see, this statue is in perfect condition. There is not a sign of wear on it, and it is chiseled from a flawless slab of granite all the way through. And you can see the swirling texture of the granite, and along the square base of it, you see primordial script. And you can read primordial.
Yes.
So you see that it says, roughly, because translation can be iffy, is Hail to the Father. Precious is his heart. Place it within our roots. There it will give us strength and balance.
Hail to the Father. Precious is what?
Is his heart.
Precious is his heart. Place it
Within our roots.
Place it within roots. What was the last bit?
For there it will give us strength and balance.
Can I see yet? For myself, flash rings.
Your vision is slowly coming back. You can see it improving. Basically, your peripheries are entirely whited out, and you can sort of see your own feet kind of thing, but anything more than 5 or so feet away from you is still just a white blur.
Cool. And I'm gonna avert my eyes only from the gem itself. I'm gonna try to look around to anything else on the statue that might be glowing, or on the walls or whatnot, as best as I can.
The statue is flooded with magical energy as well. I don't know what school I would place it in. I would say it's strange. You can tell that it is an elemental magic of some kind. We'll give you that.
Okay, just to make sure I have it correctly, can you read it one more time, just so I can read it as you say it?
Hail to our Father. Precious is his heart.
Yep.
Place it within our roots, for there it will give us strength and balance.
Cool, thank you.
You got it, buddy.
Had that correct.
I appreciate that. That's if you couldn't tell, this may or may not be a heavy lore piece, so I appreciate you making sure you got it written down.
Yep.
All right. So what y'all doing? Shax, what are you doing?
Letting the smart investigative people do their part. Now that I have enlightened Zaros into the fact that, yes, I understand somewhat how magic works. I am a 300-year-old elf, thank you. Yeah. I'm mostly letting the intellectual types do their work. Shax is mostly just waiting for something else to pop out of the damn walls.
Okay. Zaros and
He's
Jem?
not the magic type. He understands magic, but he doesn't do much for magic, so...
Respect.
What I'd like to do, because primordial script doesn't always translate correctly, I would like to I'd like to take a rubbing of the script.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. So you gather your parchment, charcoal. This is all stuff. You knew what you were coming here to do, so you are supplied.
I've got my notes. I've got all my tools to be able to actually like deduce what I need to.
Give me either a general dexterity check or a performance check.
I'm gonna do a general dex check.
Sure.
It's only a 1 difference, but like it's either a 0 or a +1.
And as it's a check, it is still at disadvantage.
Yeah, believe me, I'm rolling both die. I hate this.
I'm sorry. I have to get better at remembering to say it, so I remember that you have disadvantage.
Okay, dope. I'm real happy that one was caught. It was low. But what is it? Yeah,
Funny how that works.
7. So it's a 17. The other one was a night. Would have been a night. So
Okay.
that worked out.
You place the roll of parchment up against the statue and get ready to start doing the rubbing. Just as you hear, see, and feel a pulse come out of this gem. And you would sort of just like felt the reverb in your chest before. Nothing obnoxious. Even as you got close, it didn't seem to grow in intensity. But as you're touching the statue, you feel this thrum shake your body to the bone. And you pause, and you're able to do the rubbing in between pulses. You've started to nail down a timing for it, and you do the etching in between them, because as it happens, it does. It feels like a firework is going off 2 feet in front of you.
As I'm like, don't touch the statue when it pulses. It feels wrong.
And I'd say, Zaros, you're just a handful of feet away from her. You kind of wandered up, and you can see that pulse of magic blow past you. You actually, as you have entered the room, you see it shift by you like it's going through you. And you felt the thrum too, and even as you have gotten close, it has not changed in intensity. It's just that light, like you're in the room with a bass speaker going. You're not close to it, but it's going, and you can feel it.
Interesting.
Okay.
So is that the only script that I see on the statue?
It is repeated on all 4 sides.
So based off of what I'm reading here, I don't think this is actually his heart, but in the script it does specify that something about the father's heart, listed by the roots, and we are in fact surrounded by roots, and they will find strength and balance. So I'm not saying that the pulsing, thrumming gem is the the deity of the primordial is a primordial earth god's heart, but it's related in some sense. Maybe don't touch it.
Did you not just spend a few minutes touching it?
I touched the statue, maybe not the heart of the Thorming gem. The statue felt weird. Not gonna lie, felt odd. Interesting sensation. I'll have to jot that down later. But regardless, oh god, it could be fun. Really want to take it with us.
If you touch it, I will gladly watch.
I'm not surprised by that.
Gem, I
I
would
will be
say,
here to bring your body out when you go down.
from everything you have read, this gem fits a lot of descriptions.
Oh god. Well, now thinking about it, maybe it is his heart. This is, well, one, terrifying. Also, one of the greatest discoveries in magical deity history. A god's heart, just here. Woo, boy. Jem takes a seat and just kind of analyzes, just sits down and just thinks about this for a minute.
Do you think? Where is this god located? It is some elemental god, right?
It is the
Like
Earth,
the underground
in theory.
plane.
In concept, it is the Earth. It made the Earth. It is Earth. I don't really know how to answer that besides that.
But if the god would have some form of self, some form of avatar, where it is located, do we know if he is here? Would he be on his own plane, or could he hear us through this thing?
The avatar of Grimbar? Ooh.
If this is his heart, it seems powerful. Could we communicate through it?
I don't know, if I'm perfectly honest. I don't really dabble in, celestial things. In layman's terms, I've stayed in my lane. With the primordial aspect of things. I get primordial god, kind of goes in between that, but at the same time, I'm terrified and powerfully intrigued.
Your lane just higher speed. Then,
Well, it depends on just how much we want it, I guess.
I really want it.
I'm
But
not
I
sure.
also have no idea what that'll do. If I'm perfectly honest.
Here's the thing. If this is the heart of this deity, this primordial being, and it has any manner of observing this place, either directly through its heart or otherwise, may know that we just destroyed its protected node.
Theoretically, it's a god, so it would know everything within its domain, and I would say, while Jem gestures around herself, the temple in which its heart is held, yes, may or may not perceive us as threats. Looters, in a sense. Not that, but at the same time, really want to take it with me.
Just realize you may have some explaining to do if you have any contact with this thing. If you plan on touching it, taking it, interacting with it in any way, you must have a good reason, a speech prepared for whatever this being is. Good explanation for why we destroyed its guardian.
Do either of you have any kind of celestial connections, worship, things of that nature?
Not at all. I am probably the farthest thing that comes from Celestial.
You know, you're not wrong, but you know, some turn to faith when their bodies fail them. You were saying, Shax?
It is difficult to be faithful to something you cannot have contact with. When I was young, I grew up in worship, but once the planes were severed, not much point to talking to something that can't hear you.
I thought that was the point of faith, but that's fine. I don't know much about this. I'm not this spiritual
We believe
individual.
this god has his heart right here. It's
Yes,
not
because it's
faith.
literally here.
Do you not believe the gods exist?
Oh no, the Asili and Unsili court are close enough that, believe me, I understand that they probably exist. I just don't worship.
It is not faith. It is whomever you put your trust in.
Oh, I'm a scientist. It's hard to trust things sometimes. Unless you've proven it yourself.
Zaros,
Yes.
with your detect magic up, you have noticed, while this conversation is taking place, the pulsing has stopped.
So I really, really want to
Wait.
way back study.
Wait.
What?
He stopped.
What's that? Oh
Stop
God, it stopped.
Posting.
Hi! As I gesture towards the statue. We come in peace!
Or so we attempted.
Your guardian kind of attacked us first. I don't mean... We're not looters. I promise. We're not looters.
There's a trial by combat. Well fought.
Thank you, Shax. That did happen. I am just an intellectual trying to learn about my ancestry.
Things she did not believe existed until a minute ago.
It's hard to dispute things that are in front of you, Shax. Please, you're not helping the argument.
There is a dull hum
Oh dear God.
coming from the gem. A steady, subtle hum. No pulse. Just a hum. It feels almost inviting. And Gem, it is begging you to study it.
You know that that like you're not supposed to, but like you're slowly making your way forward, like almost absent-minded. Yeah, Gem is doing that. Where it's like it's the like kind of thing. Not quite touching it, but like slowly making their way forward.
Okay.
Really want to take it with me.
As you make your way closer, the hum grows stronger.
I'm just speaking for the ether. I'm just saying, if you don't want me to take Gem, go back to pulsing. I'll wait.
It hums.
Look back to the group. Well, it didn't change.
You really think that's how it works?
No, I have no idea. but
It
it's like-
literally had a guardian that was defending it from people coming and taking it.
Well,
and
they're
it attacked
technically
us.
bad people from taking it. We're not entirely bad people. At least I don't. I'm not. And I don't think the hero of the Feywild. I can't
think-
say about you though.
I don't think it really cares about if you're good or bad. It doesn't want anybody to take it.
I don't know.
The
gods, they
family
work
of
in
Red God
weird ways.
soldiers I have killed would disagree in me being a good person. So, relatively, are we good or bad? I believe we just killed a member of this deity's god.
History is told by the victor. It's fine.
will we be the victors here?
Damn well tried.
You really do not understand deities, do you?
Not in the slightest.
If you think that the Unseelie leaders are bad, a true god, they pale in comparison.
Jim goes like stoic for like a half a second. Be careful what you say, to who you say it, about the Celia and Unseelie. They are
I do
terrifying,
not
and they are.
disagree that they are powerful. There are many things more powerful than you and I. But true gods. The Triad would not notice stepping on a Seelie god.
Be careful. Don't say that anywhere near the city. Truthfully, don't say that in the Fae. But I understand your point.
I'm trying to give perspective.
I really want to touch it and then like write down how it feels. You know what? You know what? D6.
God.
What? 1 through 3, I don't. 4 through 6, I do.
Go for it.
Well, I guess I really touch it because I got a 6. It's going to be fine. Reach forward, grab.
Okay. As you grab this stone, warmth spreads through your hands. You smell fresh earth and the grass after it rains. You feel nature pulse through you. And then all of you here in Primordial, but for some reason, Shax and Zaros, you understand the words as the voice comes through and says, "Do you think yourself righteous? Do you think yourself worthy? You have slain mine blood, carved from my flesh, protector of my heart. Do you believe yourself righteous?"
We happen to just be talking about this, actually.
Gem's eyes flare blue. Hair comes out of the ponytail and flares. And she almost absent-mindedly transforms into her fire element.
Roll me a D100.
How did we set this up? Was it a?
I'll remind you.
You remind me? Okay. How do I read these again? Okay, right. Oh wow, hell. 99.
Amazing. No issue.
Away from yeah, because it's a 0 is a 10, right? On the ones.
Yes, double zero is a 10.
Yeah, so 99.
Well,
What? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember because I don't use percentile die much.
so the percentile die would be
So I got a 9. I got a 9 on the single and then a 90 on the double.
So yeah.
Assuming that's a 99.
That's a 99 then.
Okay.
Yep,
Why are you
perfect.
asking about the double zero then?
I'm trying to remember.
That's why I was confused because I was like, what?
No, I was just trying to remember what the 0 is on the single.
Gotcha. And everybody, just remind me where you're at here.
I believe I was just kind of like scouting around. Like I was just looking at the entire thing, but not looking at the gem.
I was probably
So-
there-ish because I was getting close enough to try to pull Gem away if I needed to or drag her body out of here, but I was not getting up close and personal with the statue.
All right. Jim. No issue. You transform. What does everybody see?
Sorry, just typing down what you said. Jim's hair, like I said, comes out of the braid, flares up. That balloon, that powerful bright blue that you've seen, like as accents of her and through her hair and that kind of thing. And she bursts into blue flame for a moment, and then you see, still at the crystal, a large blue fire weasel.
Love it. Love it so much.
So think a weasel wreathed in blue flames.
What's the Pokemon?
I don't know a Pokemon that does that.
There's literally one of those fire starters. I can't remember what it's called. It's one of my favorite too. Cyndaquil.
Think of, oh,
Oh,
yeah,
Cyndaquil?
Cyndaquil's evolved form.
Quilava. Kind of, but like at the edges of the fur is the blue, and it's like rippling through.
I love
I
it.
was more thinking the lightning squirrel from Monster Hunter World, but fire instead.
I mean,
Kind of, but fur instead of scales.
all right.
Well, the lightning squirrel, it has fur.
Well, it has fur when it's like angry, but the rest of its body is scales.
Is it?
Yes.
Fur.
I haven't
Believe
played,
me,
so I don't know.
I know what you're talking about. The one that has the wide tail, right? And it hits you with it.
Maybe. It's been a while.
Yeah. No,
Alright.
it scales until it gets angry, and then the fur kind of pops out, and it's like lightning fur.
Weasel on fire is big.
Dope. Okay. Anybody doing anything? Because you all hear this happen. Like, these words
Yeah.
explode in your mind.
I responded.
We were just discussing that.
I'm
Fucking shacks.
In Primordial, in the weasel, in the fire elemental form, I don't know if they understand this, but I say in Primordial, and I think I do. Yep, it's in the same spot. I'll deal with that in a second. God, we had this issue before with the crickets finding their way in here and just being right next to where I sit. So it's just really bloody loud, and I can't tell if it's in my headset or not half the time, and I have to watch my light ping around my
yeah.
circle.
Oh
to
yeah, no,
make sure that
we hear
it's-
it. Don't worry, we hear it.
I thank you. Appreciate it.
It's waiting for the joke. It's already doing the cricket.
God, I hate you so much. I say I am kin. That's it.
Child of flame. To me you are not kin.
I say in Primordial, I am worthy.
If you are worthy, then you must prove yourself. And if you fail, like my fallen son, your light will be snuffed, and justice is served. If you succeed, then my fallen son's death is justified.
Was your son not a worthy enough test?
Don't ask. Just
The entire entire cavern shakes. And stones begin to fall from the ceiling, and I will need a deck save from everybody.
God damn. Yum.
Question: does my exhaustion still count because I'm running off of the fire elemental?
You are still exhausted.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got a big old natural 1.
Nice.
Oof.
15 for Shax.
That's a big old 6 for Jim.
You all take 19 bludgeoning damage as the ceiling cascades down on you, and the words echo through the chamber extremely loudly, shaking your skulls. My son is no test. My son was but a guardian of this place. And you, his murderers.
Is defending yourself truly murder?
Is protecting your home the wrong thing to do?
Conversation would have been nice.
I believe we are having a conversation now, Jim.
With his son.
We could have left.
He could have been civil.
Eh. You're seeing one side.
I'm seeing my side.
There's always 3 sides to every story.
There's no response.
Bring me the test.
Take the heart from this place. Experience your test if you believe yourself righteous in your actions.
Still in my fire elemental form, I pull the gem from its perch.
Daughter of flame, what burns within you may turn you to cinder if you are not careful. And those who walk this path with you may burn like so many dying stars. Do you believe yourself righteous? And the humming stops.
Does the gem still glow?
Significantly less so.
Taking the gem, I turn to look to the other two. Oh, we asked the question.
Yes, he did.
For being so nervous about conversing with that entity, you did a fabulous job of fucking it up once you actually did speak to him.
I was less nervous. He's giant blue flaming weasel was talking to at this point. I was more nervous about it just killing us outright than having a conversation with a god. No, when people put me on the spot and I get frustrated, it just kind of happens. I'm sorry.
If it wasn't unseelie, would you have said the same things in the same tone of voice?
No, probably not. If it was unseelie, I probably would have skulked in the shadows and vanished as quickly as possible. But that's beside the point.
Learn then. May not be as dangerous to you as an unseelie would be. But stop thinking as seelie and unseelie is the only powerful things in the universe.
Oh, I know they're not. Don't get me wrong. I
You
understand.
thought that the god of a plane of elements, something I think you were somewhat familiar with, a god of one of those places, would not be powerful, would not be vengeful, would not appreciate some posterity.
I do get that. And yes, sure. I acted as half rash. But at the same time, I tried. I don't know if you two understood Primordial, but I tried to have some semblance of a conversation with the thing, and then it attacked. So, I'm talking about the sun, not the gem.
Indeed.
So I took a mild offense when he took it so personally that we defended ourselves from his son that attacked us first. Conversation could have been nice. Just simply had a conversation, talked it out. We could have rested, looked around, not touched anything, and left. I could have taken my notes. It would have been fine. But then, at the same time, he just decided that we were worthy of being, and I gestured to Shax, buried alive.
Indeed. But
So-
realize, again, three sides to every story. You walked into this place thinking it's nothing but a ruin. When we walked into this place, this was a home. And we were intruders walking in. If we had left, if we had fled from his son, I doubt we would have been followed.
True.
You must
but-
realize that just because a place is old does not mean it is not actively a home.
You're not wrong. I will learn. But at the
That
same
is all
time,
one can do.
at the same time, some general pleasantries, even because it's it's a ruin inside of a mountain without a door. Things can stumble in. Simple
Yeah.
conversation wouldn't be the worst thing. Informing them, hi, this is such and such. Maybe get out. Not, hi, I'm going to kill you.
I don't disagree. It is-
Words, people, words.
You are not wrong in your frustrations. I do not blame you for that, and I'm glad you're willing to learn from this. But
I am an
even more
intellectual.
so,
Learning
as
is
the more powerful a being is, I've found the less apt it is towards believing it is subject to the same pleasantries as those it interacts with.
And that
I'm
is
sure
wrong.
you have.
Things should always have pleasantries. Things should always converse. Have a conversation, a dialogue. It would be wonderful. Am I not wrong? Am I not right?
Yes and no, depending on how you put it.
If we were
Yes.
dealing with simple folk, I would normally agree with you, but we are dealing with primordials,
Who are the
creatures that are creatures like most any other, where they are territorial. You enter their home, they will attack. There is no talking. And most of the time, most things cannot even understand them, so they don't take the time.
I tried to have a dialogue with it though, and that's as I'm like talking with my hands, and there's just a gem in there, just like flailing this thing around, having a conversation. I'm just saying, conversating wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for things of power. Because then you get your point across, and maybe you find people who, may be like-minded, maybe on your side. But, like, if you decide you want to kill them first, maybe they're not on your side then. Words. I live my life by words. Fine, whatever. It's happened. We didn't die.
Indeed.
I've learned a lot. And I'll be taking a lot of notes. I shrink back to my normal gem form.
Okay.
Now, what is it that we need to do with this gem?
He
What is
did
this
not
about being
specify.
righteous?
He just said take it from this place.
Yes, Jim. What are we supposed to do with the gem?
Ha ha, very funny.
I thought that was great.
No one asked you, DM. I don't know. I'm going to take more notes. I'm going to write all of this down so that if we make it out of here and I explode because I pissed off a god, somebody else will be able to read my notes and figure out what happened. But I think we go back to camp, set this in a place where it's far enough from the camp that if it explodes, we might live, but also not out of our sight. Take a rest, relax. I write down literally a head full of conjecture, notes, and dialogue. We go forth from there.
If it knows about keeping the gem on you, I will take it.
I'm just generally worried about it just exploding, and that's our trial. Do we have enough fortitude to live? Yeah, things of that nature.
Of all of us, I think myself the most likely to survive that, then.
You're
But
not
also,
wrong.
I am not too fearful of that. This creature, though it, yes, in your eyes was a bit rash in its actions against us. If it had desire to kill us outright, you were also right, it would have just done it.
I
The
don't
trial,
know.
I believe, is going to be a bit more involved than that,
Yes,
whatever it is. Enjoy that.
I think so as well. Let's do a quick test here. I will put the gem closer to Shax. Do me a favor, don't touch it, just put your hand close. Just make sure that you don't feel any pain from it radiating, being not of primordial birth.
Yeah. Jax will reach for it. Not touch it, but just put his hands near it.
Shax, as you reach for it, it begins to hum. Gem, you don't feel a difference. It doesn't change for you.
It seems like nothing's happening.
It is humming.
Humming?
It is humming for me.
It's not humming for me. Maybe you're
There's
the righteous
humming-
one who's supposed to take it.
We can only attempt. May I?
Please.
And Shax will take the gem.
And as your gauntleted hand closes around it, 100 octaves lower, decibels lower than it was, and only for you, you hear, "Do you believe yourself righteous?"
So this is, do I realize this is only in my head? Like, can I tell? This is like telepathic communication.
It feels exactly as it did before, just significantly quieter, but you don't see anybody else react.
I'm going to guess that while holding it, it is telepathic. And I will think back to it and see if it actually understands or if I need to speak it. I will think back.
What a person does in the individual actions they take do not always align. The death of your son, understanding what this place is now, was not a righteous act. But if you see me and see what I have done, what my history is, you may judge for yourself if I am righteous. If I am not, then, well, perhaps you do not want to live to understand that. So, while I do not believe I deserve forgiveness for the death of your son, know that, with my understanding now, I do regret it.
May you find strength and balance. And it falls silent.
Fair enough.
Well, the heart, or its owner through it, did have some to say. Not a long conversation, and I do not believe a concluded one, but not a failure of one either. Zaros, would you like to try? See if it has something to say to you as well.
I think I will wait.
Very well. For now, if none are opposed, I will hold on to this. And if we so desire, we can investigate more after a longer rest than the nap we just had.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. Can I get you to, like, word for word say exactly what he said and you said, so I can just have it written down, please?
I will reiterate it for her.
Write down exactly what he says.
Yep.
Okay. So you make your way back out of this room.
Back to the makeshift camp we had set up.
Shax.
Yes.
As you pass the crumpled remains of the Earth Elemental Guardian,
Mm-hmm.
the entire place quakes. And you feel unsteady, unrhythmic pulses shudder through your body from the gem.
I'm not sure because it is not humming if it can sense my thoughts, but I will think at it.
Is there any way we can honor him to lay him to rest?
Lay him in the sun. He has stayed below the surface for lifetimes past, protecting this place.
Very well.
This is going to be a heavy lifting job. I give a nod to Jem and Zaros.
You go get camp set up for some rest. I have some work to do.
As in...
This person has spent perhaps even longer than I've been alive in this place, protecting the heart of its creator. Not even seeing the sun. The least we can do is allow its final place to be in a place where it can get some sun. The quest was not my own.
It makes sense. In a sense, you're returning it to its father. Yeah.
So, if you wish to help at some point, you may, but it is stone. This is going to be some heavy lifting.
I would love to help. I don't know if I can.
I have my own mental thing to talk to for now, so unless you need help, I will be okay.
Yes. Go rest up, prepare camp, and I will join you when I can.
Tell me when you've come get me once you've placed the remains where they need to be.
Very good.
And yeah, Shax will get to work moving the how many hundreds of pounds of stone outside.
Quite a few. You're looking at like at least 2 tons.
While he does that, I'm gonna go ahead.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, we're going on an hour and a half. Let's take a break. Grab drinks and stretch our legs. We'll be back. All right, and we are back. Ooh, should put my glasses on. All right, so Shax, you were getting ready to shift some remains out into the sunlight. Well, not sunlight now, but out into the open air.
Yeah. He's going to carry what he can and push and drag what he can't.
Okay.
But yeah, he can do like over 200 pounds lifting, about 500 pounds pushing. So,
It takes you the better part of an hour to lift and push and drag the remains of this elemental guardian out of the cave. But
yeah.
Sweating profusely and straining your body, you are able to move roughly 2 tons of stone out into the open air.
I would say for this, actually, Shax took his armor off. which is something that, like, y'all don't see.
No.
Okay.
Never.
Yeah, like, I don't think I need to for lifting and carrying weight. Like, I don't think I need to, but, like, this is not the work that he does while wearing a full suit of armor kind of thing.
All right. All right. This is Harry Potter and Dobby right now.
Yeah, this is Shaq's. Yeah, basically, this is penance for doing what he needed to save his life, or think that doing what he thought he needed to do to save his life at the time, of realizing now that yes, it was not a good thing. So, yeah, will he ever be forgiven for killing this thing? No, but he has also accepted that he's probably killed people who didn't really deserve it on the material plane. Redguard people who didn't really believe what they were doing, just happened to be the wrong place, wrong time. Shaxx probably killed people who didn't deserve it, and that there will probably be reckoning for that someday. But he does what he can to make up for it along the way.
All right, all right. Well, I don't want to say easy enough to do, but
No.
the task takes time. You work up quite a sweat. Bloodied and charred hand, not charred, but cracked hands by the end of it. But the job is complete. The task is done. And you find a nice... The outside of this cave is decently clear for a good way before the forest takes over. You are decently far up on a mountain, so there's not a whole lot of tree cover here. So fairly open space to be able to lay this elemental guardian to rest.
Yeah. He will get the job done. He will go back inside.
Excellent. All right. And what is everybody else doing at this time?
Probably setting up to take first watch for a long rest.
Okay.
Jem is jotting down all the notes that you can of everything that has transpired. I was taking down the dialogue that Shaxx had with the elemental god, and is waiting for Shaxx to be done moving the stone so that she can go out there.
Okay. Eventually, Shaxx does return. Well, you watched him go back and forth, and you're a vigilant person, so you are certain when you see Shaxx take the last chunk of stone that remains in that area, and then comes back inside the cave.
Was that the last of it, Shaxx?
Yes, it was. I need a rest. I wasn't ready for sleep before I am now.
Well, sleep is what we will have, hopefully. I will walk past him and out towards wherever the stones.
Okay.
Heading out, seeing I'm assuming pile of stones, right?
Shaxx, how did you lay it? Did you try to lay it in semblance of a body, or did you just toss the stones in a heap? Because after you cut it in half, but it was still a body, a very, I don't want to say humanoid, but it had 2 legs, 2 arms, a chest, and a head.
Yeah, he would have attempted to, if he believed, based on what was left, that he could put it together in a way that was not a caricature of what it was, he would have attempted to do it in the most dignified way possible.
Okay. Jem, you find a massive slab of stone with a gouge cut through the center, and you can see it almost looks like a molten line had been just splayed down the front, but laying flat, arms at its side. A human-esque figure made of stone.
I will spend the next probably hour or so druid crafting roots and vines to not entirely engulf it, but to wrap each part of it all the way around, so there isn't like a section of it that doesn't have some kind of like plant growth like holding it together.
Okay. Alright. That is easy enough to do with the deep connection you have with the earth. You are able to pay what you believe is your respects to this entity. And as you are finishing, and you see the last ever so slight pink lances in the sky as the sun sets and the sky turns purple, a winded voice breaks into your head. My lady! Silence.
Oh no. I'll run back into the room. So I feel like our transport was under attack of some sense. I just got a message from the captain. And it was cut off very abruptly.
Well, I can't say I'm in, I can't say that I'm in the shape to take on something violent, but if we must, we will. Well, did they sit down, or were they still flying?
Do I know?
They were staying roughly where they let you down.
They are back where we started, roughly. Feel like we need to get there quickly.
Well, perhaps it is best if we leave this place as it is anyway. We've done enough damage. Gamble will happen elsewhere. We find your ship, we save it.
That would be good, because otherwise it would take us quite a while to get back.
If we get back at all. We are in the White Wood. Who knows if we make it back in one piece of ship.
A long walk through not friendly territory. Indeed. Let's move.
And yeah, Shax immediately starts packing stuff up to get going.
Yep, I grab what I can.
Yep.
Start going.
He takes the time to put his armor back on, yes.
Appreciate that. Smart. Before we do that, Zaros, I remember you saying before Shaq started that you wanted to, you had your own voice to speak with. During the hour, you said you wanted to start and get ready for a watch. Did you want to do anything with that voice in that time?
Probably just talk to her real quick and asked it. Well, I know it was slightly brief, but what did you think of that little encounter?
Well, you ain't really putting me to much use yet. But you handle yourself pretty well.
Okay, this is true. I haven't actually fired something in a minute. I'm trying to make something so it has a little bit more of a punch. You wouldn't happen to know how to help?
I mean, I think I already pack a pretty good punch myself.
You do. This is true.
If you're trying to do more than that, well, maybe you just need a bigger gun. I'm just
That
playing
is
with you,
enough.
kid. I know that one's got sentimental value to you. I can tell.
I mean, bigger guns are an option, but it will cost the money, and I don't exactly have that anymore.
Oh, not everything costs money. Sometimes it just costs blood and courage.
This is true. Okay. Well, I wasn't gonna.
You let me know when you're ready. I point you in the right direction.
Huh. He just starts to think by it to himself.
Okay. If that wraps up your conversation with your companion,
Yep.
All right.
Now.
up to the present, start scrambling to pack up the quick camp, which easy. You just made a fire, got like a pan out. Dinner was already cooked. You were eating it. Bedrolls, not a whole lot out and about.
Alright, we get going.
Yep.
All right. You rush to the woods. Who is leading this venture?
I still have disadvantage on these.
So probably not you. You can certainly try.
I think I will. Can
Okay.
probably being the quickest one right now.
All right. I will say you guys already came this way, so I'll require a survival check with advantage.
That will be better. It's a 14, and I'm going to use the Flash of Genius to get to 18.
All right. With an 18, what took you hours before, as you ended up walking down a mountain and then heading along the mountain range and then back up the mountain, you were able
Totally
to
intentional.
just cut across. And up here, the tree cover is still pretty barren. And after just like half hour, 45 minutes, you see the small and distant silhouette of the ship.
Well, it looks like we're almost there. Definitely faster than last time.
I will ignore that remark and head towards the ship.
As you begin to close the distance, the silhouette grows larger, and you begin to notice the swirling mass all around the ship.
Do we know what it is?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Actually, no, sorry, that's a 5 roll. So I have advantage on perception. Perception. Let's see. That kills me. 14.
It's hard to tell. It seems like it could be a swarm of insects, or
Oh, is it that fucking cloud again?
possibly spores swirling around.
God damn.
Fine. How close are we?
Probably at this point, as you've been running, I'd say you're probably 500 feet away.
Well, it seems like we might be back to what we had dealt with before. Don't breathe. I understand how that sounds.
Easy as that,
You know, I'm liking you less and less, Shax. Not even looking at him, just still heading towards the ship.
What would you like me to do? I hit things with a sword. I can hit some spores, but I'm not believe it'll be effective. What should I do here?
I don't know. I'm going to try to burn it out of the sky. Don't know if that's going to work. It seemed to burn away the roots that were growing in our automaton, but we'll see.
Very good.
All right.
I
Well,
could assist in burning them. If you want it.
I will take as much help as I can get saving my ship. We will head towards the ship since we're 500 feet away.
all right. You begin to close the distance. Takes you a minute, and you are within range of the ship. I'll say around 100 feet is where I'll ask you what it is you'd like to start doing.
Is the swarm engulfing the ship or above the ship?
It is engulfing the ship.
Does the largest mass of the swarm seem to be like above, below, like
It's fairly evenly distributed throughout the entire space.
great? So I would like to attempt to level 1 burning hands and project flame forward and try to hit the swarm without hitting the ship.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
It's technically a dex save.
Yeah, you're trying to lance a area of effect spell into a place and not burn your ship.
Well, it's not an area effect; it's a cone. But yes, I get your reason.
I was just gonna start shooting firebolts.
Go ahead, pop off.
Do I roll them like it's a dex save? So do I have a modifier to this, or like?
Yeah, your spell, just your spell attack modifier.
Just spell attack mod. Okay. That's 12. No, wait, 6. 6 plus 8. Am I doing that wrong? I'm doing that wrong.
It's 14.
14.
Okay.
I can see that.
You let loose this large cone of fire engulfing a significant amount of the spores that have swarmed and swirled around your ship. Catching the edge of one of the sails in this fire, you let it out and go, shit. It's not burning. The sails are magical.
Always caution. Always caution.
The sails are magical. The deck of the ship, less so.
Yeah, but it's live wood. So, like, burns us.
It's fair. Zaros, you go ahead and give me an attack roll with your fire bolts.
Okay. Should be fairly easy. Yeah, it's an 11 plus 9, so unnatural 20.
Alright. Easy enough. You start blasting your firebolts through these spores, burning swaths of them, not even coming close to any part of the ship. Very, very precise.
Yeah. Anyways, I sort of blast.
Danny DeVito, my man.
It's not a blast.
Jem, I would say you take notice of how quickly and efficiently Zaros is laying waste to these spores with his abilities with fire. But between the mix of the spells, rather quickly you were able to dispatch the cloud of spores. From what you can tell.
Run up to the ship. I have a produce flame in my hand, just ready to go. If I see some more spores floating around or what have you, but I'll run up to the ship. Captain.
No response.
Shit. I will make my way up on deck.
Okay, you climb the rope because it is
Yep.
up high. Go ahead and give me an athletics check. At disadvantage.
That's fucking great. Where's my athletics? Dope. My athletics is a -1. Not the worst. It's a 9 with the -1. There's a 12 and a 10, so they were practically the same roll.
Okay. It definitely...
Takes me a while.
Yeah, it takes you a good while. Zaros, you watch Gem struggle climb. Like, climb up a few and slip and then climb back up. Shit!
Hold on. Can I see the top from like where I'm standing?
If you
I
step...
have a general idea of where the top is at, right?
Yeah, and if you step back, you can see the helm where the...
Okay. I'm just gonna yell out to Jeb as like I see her just like fucking struggle busting there.
Yes.
And I'm just like, trust me, don't resist. And I'm gonna cast a spell.
That doesn't sound good. Just hanging from the rope.
Alright, what do you cast?
I just want to know if she's gonna resist or not first.
You know what? If I feel a spell take hold, I will not resist.
Yeah, you feel a spell start to tug on your entire body.
Yeah, I'll
so-
let it happen. I'll be tense, but I'll let it happen.
I am casting, and this is what I was going to cast last session to pull.
Are you casting catapult on me?
No, I'm not casting catapult. It's way fucking cooler. So it's called Vortex Warp. So I magically twist the space around you that I can see within range, and you'd have to succeed at a saving throw unless you choose to fail it. And I can teleport you to an unoccupied space that I can see within range, but the range is 90 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna fucking blap you up top immediately.
That's dope.
Okay. Done. You feel the spell take hold and you appear right next to the helm.
I look around. Do I see the captain?
No.
I run over to the hatch. Give it a bang on the hatch. Captain!
No response.
I attempt to lift the hatch.
Not easy to do, but you are able to lift the hatch.
I look into the hole. Produce flame still in hand, just in case some spores come flying out.
Okay. Let me do. As you open it, you see the frame of the automaton Anzim. Nothing else. Nobody else.
Anzim, where's the captain?
The dull violet light of Anzim's optical sensors flutter and go out.
Shit. So I look down and I don't see anybody in there besides Anzim. I get back up. I look over the edge of the ship. They're not here. Look around.
Right. Shax and Zaros begin to look around.
Yep.
Shax is not
Probably.
present at the moment, but I can speak for him because I know Shax. I'll roll a perception check for Shax. What do you have? Perception is +2. Shax gets a 12. He covers the space, finds no signs of Captain Hanley or Tane.
Zaros, are you looking?
Sorry, say that again.
Are you looking for the captain?
Yes, I'm looking.
All right, you can go ahead and roll
Yeah, I
a
need
perception check as well. Yes.
Yeah, 11.
No sign of Captain Hanley or Deckhand Tane.
From where I am on top of this ship, I'm gonna do a full circle around the ship and look at the area, see if I can see where they've gone, and I'm gonna be yelling the entire time, Hensley!
You can go ahead and roll me a perception check as well.
Oh, right, no, lateral.
As you're rolling that, Shax, I rolled a 12 for a perception check for you. Jem has boarded the ship with no sign of Hanley or Tane and found the automaton Anzim fluttering and shutting down. And you have scoured the area, as has Zaros. No sign of the humanoid crewmates.
I got a 22.
22.
First time I got an over 20 all night. Finding my crew.
Fitting time.
Right.
From one of the branches
Oh no.
on the tree, you see a large piece of fabric flowing in the wind that you recognize as the ever-present captain's jacket.
I don't see a captain
No,
attached to that jacket.
just
or
a
any.
very torn and tattered jacket
How high up?
That's not good.
up at the top of the tree.
Where?
Roughly, you you anchored in a semi-clear space, so it's probably about 50 to 60 feet west, back into the forest.
I will yell to both of them. There, I see the captain's jacket. I don't know if that's where they went, but that's all I can see so far. And I will slide down the rope, probably going too fast and probably taking some damage when I get there.
Give me a dexterity save.
And panicked. Wait, saves. Do I have to do those to disadvantage or is it just
Nope,
checks?
just checks. And attacks, I
And Shax will
believe.
be moving full speed in that direction.
You know, because it doesn't make sense. Natural.
Yeah,
20
I'll just start running.
You get some rope burn on your hands, but you hit the ground, and it jars you a little bit, but your adrenaline is pumping.
Yeah. And I sprint towards where the jacket is.
Okay. As you get there, rolling off of your 22 perception, and even in this low light of the dark, against the gleaming skeletal white bark of the tree, the splashes of crimson are easy to make out.
See anyone next to that crimson? Or just crimson?
Just crimson.
A lot of it, or just splatters?
A little bit of it.
It's a fair amount. Shax, give me a medicine check at advantage. You are a warrior. You are fairly versed in under. I'm giving you advantage.
I appreciate that. That is a 17.
this much blood comes from a serious wound.
Okay.
But it is not enough to warrant...
Tequila.
Yeah, it is not enough that you fear that this wound would have killed the person immediately, though blood loss would be rather imminent.
Looking up, do I see, like, evidence of broken branches, like from a fall kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay. Where does the blood trail lead?
Further west into the forest, and we'll just continue going off of Gem's 22. There are clear signs of struggle and dragging.
Could be some, or
Could be somebody dragging them, or one of them dragging the other to safety.
Regardless, crew is prepared to find them. And you actually start to see some like exploding rolling up, like not actually coming down, but starting to fight.
Jax will move ahead. He can move a little bit faster. He is going to move a little bit faster. And he is going to get that edge up ahead to see if he can get there a couple seconds sooner.
Okay.
Knowing that, yes, this is not a shot to the heart, but this is serious bleeding, literally seconds count.
It's not too late.
Alright. You begin to
Yep.
sprint through the forest, Gem and Zaros, I assume, following behind as quickly as you can.
Oh yes,
Yep.
literally as quickly as possible.
He's just barreling through what he can barrel through.
And I
Clear
am
path.
following the path of broken branches that he makes as he goes. Like a freak.
Okay. Easy enough. And as you sprint through, crashing through the brush, slowly you start to see a warm orange light fill the forest ahead of you. And even though you are further ahead, Gem, it reaches your ears first, your brilliant senses in overdrive. The sounds of music, the sounds of laughter up ahead of you.
Would I recognize what that would indicate in this woods?
That is incredibly out of place in these woods. I was actually, you know what? Hold on. Give me an insight check.
I really fucking hate that you gave me a point of exhaustion for climbing a mountain.
You failed really bad.
Fucking annoying. Your point of exhaustion. Fucking annoying. What was I rolling again?
Insight.
Oh, no. I roll standard. I have advantage on insight.
Yeah, you have advantage on like 110 things anyway, so.
It's not 110, it's 3. And I have disadvantage on stealth. Okay.
I haven't asked you to be stealthy yet, you're fine.
Jim hasn't wanted to be stealthy yet. Dope. Okay. Insight is kind of like one of the big things I'm good at. So 24. Because I get a +8 to my stealth. Or sorry, stealth. Insight. You hit things hard. Go fuck yourself. You can move people just because you feel like it. All right, calm down.
The sounds of music and laughter reach your ears. And you have met Unseelie before. And though they're people, they tend to be a little more malicious in all things.
Yes.
The sounds you are hearing fill you with a sense of warmth and comfort.
Somehow that makes me more uncomfortable.
Gem needs therapy. Trust is an issue.
Trust is very much an issue. Gemma's a scientist. She has to prove everything that she believes. Still running forward, following shots.
Okay. 20 or so more feet, and the sounds begin to filter in through your helm, Shax, and you hear them too. And then Zaros, you hear them as well. And you are both filled with a sense of comfort and warmth. And though you're still rushing forward, you know there is a need to be urgent here. You've forgotten why.
All of us?
All of you.
Is there no save to this?
There is no save to this.
Stupid. Okay.
You know you are in a rush to get somewhere. You know there is something important ahead of you. But you were no longer filled with panic.
And we don't know why we're rushing.
As you concentrate and focus, because Jem, you're a scientist, this catches you off guard.
Yeah.
You remember, Hanley, Tane, somebody's hurt. You can focus on the fact,
Yeah.
but you do not feel panicked. You feel very calm.
Shax will throw up his hand and slow down.
We have a goal. We need to get there.
Hanley. The crew?
Yes.
We need to find them.
This is wrong.
Something's wrong.
You two, cover your ears.
Cover my ears.
I will cover my ears.
Okay. Shax, you cannot be charmed. You
I have
are
advantage against being charmed.
right. You are confident in your ability to resist magical charm in some way. And you are familiar with the sensation when somebody tries to. And you know that's not what this is. You feel drawn to this light that has steadily grown brighter, the sounds of music and dance. It feels like any second now you're going to walk around a tree and be able to open the door and step into your home. To see your mother, your father, and your brother. The urge is strong. But at Jem's reminder, you know. Hanley and Tane. Focus. But you do not feel panicked. You are very clear and concise in your thoughts. There is no adrenaline pumping right now.
And that is what makes him concerned. He is not, he is used to a level of composure with adrenaline going. But the fact that there is no adrenaline rush during this kind of situation
It's scary.
is skewed.
Yes. And you are able to ascertain that this is strange. Something, you can tell something is wrong. You can feel it. But you can't muster the sense of panic about it.
Do the other two, does their perception of things change when they can no longer hear what's going on?
From what you can tell, no. They both seem focused and intent, looking ahead. But there's the tears that had welled up in Jem's eyes, gone. She looks calm. She looks focused. She has a task ahead of her, but she is no longer panicked or stressing out.
Because that's better.
It's as simple as like I need to do the dishes and I need to get them done now kind of thought.
Shax will motion to take their hands off their ears.
Okay, will do.
Whatever this is, powerful. Keep what you said in mind. We're here for a reason.
Hanley. We need to find the crew.
Find crew. Keep thinking those 3 words. Find the crew.
Fine.
Let's move.
And at a fast, brisk walking pace, Jax will continue to move in the direction the blood trail leads.
All right.
He has his hand on the sword, but not drawn.
Gotcha. As you begin to close the distance to the point where this orange light is actually starting to light up the space you are in, the dragging stops. Blood trail continues, significantly lighter, but there is no longer drag marks. And you notice... Actually, give me a perception check. Lots of perception investigation checks the last couple sessions.
That's what we're doing. For him or all of us?
That's
Just
a
Shax.
natural 20 from Shax.
Perfect. Nice!
That's
You see the space where the dragging stops. And you make out 3 sets of footprints. Except one set is clear with a natural 20. For a total of, I'm sorry.
22.
22. The third set is clearly a bipedal set of hooves.
Okay. Shax will merely point to the ground where the hoof marks are and keep walking forward. Like, specifically point at those.
Would I know what those are? I'm assuming I'd be familiar with satyrs.
Absolutely. Satyrs, centaurs, the like. The fact that it's bipedal strongly makes you think this is a satyr.
So, yeah. No. Under Jem's breath in Primordial. Fucking satyrs.
What?
Would I then recognize what is happening to us?
No.
No? Okay.
Satyrs are... To you, you would know they're just people. There are plenty in the Alabaster City. They live a slightly more carefree life as a general populace, but you've known quite a few are hardworking. In fact, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but your merchant friend has one working in his shop.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I wouldn't say that. I'm thinking meant to be like fairies, you know, mischief.
Oh, no. Fairies, you would know. Fairies are mischievous motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Satyrs are more so, they're just living in the moment, man. They're hippies.
I was gonna say, calling them hippies.
They're hippies. They're the hippies of the Feywild. They are just very happy, carefree, and just generally loving spirits.
They're like party hippies.
Basically.
Yeah.
Base.
Okay. I will continue to follow.
Okay. About 20 or 30 more feet, and the wood's clear. And you are stepping into a massive clearing. And there are 4 bonfires blazing 20 feet high. And there's song and dance. There are wooden picnic tables all around. And there are satyrs and elves and a myriad of fey creatures dancing. And you see, laid up on top of one of the tables, currently being tended to by a satyr, is Hanley.
I immediately make my way to him.
Okay. So you rush up to the table. See, he is unconscious.
Wounded in what way?
The satyr is laying bandages around his torso with one hand, and you can see a glowing magic pooling from the other hand, closing a massive wound through the left side of his chest.
I will aid them in healing with a 3rd level cure wounds.
Okay. You see, as you rush forward, the satyr kind of looks up at you, and then you shove your hands forward and cast the spell, and so he just kind of smiles at you, and the wound stitches significantly smaller and closes for the most part. It is now just a large slash that can be easily bandaged.
Okay. I got 8, 5, and 7. That's simple math. Brings me-
20.
How much was that?
20.
20.
20?
That sound you just heard is literally Goliath scratching himself. That's just his
Gotcha.
paw.
And that's
Amazing.
with true wounds, that's plus 4, so 24.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hanley is important to me.
There was a second crew member, right?
Tane. Yeah.
Yes, Tane.
You do not see
seeing-
Tane at this table.
There were foot marks that I was following though.
Mm-hmm.
Where does the third set go? Assuming that two go one.
Well,
Two to
once
the table, including
once
the
you've
set of
stepped
footprints.
into here, it's kind of a wash of things. You can only track the prints in here because there's literally probably 4 to 5 dozen people here living it up. The only person who is not partying is this satyr tending to Hanley.
Okay. Do I see Tane partying?
As you look around to avoid rolling another fucking perception check, I would say your eyes go through the crowd and you do. You see Tane drinking deeply from a drinking horn and dancing with a slightly luminescent blue female figure by one of the fires.
There you go. Jax will walk over to Gem.
It seems your crew is well tended to. Thane is enjoying himself in this atmosphere.
It seems that everyone is enjoying themselves in this atmosphere. I'm not sure why my crew ran from the ship and joined a party. Wrong feels quite nice being here, but
There's an interesting pocket in what seems otherwise a hostile place.
yes, it does. Quite comforting actually. But he hasn't. And I point to the table towards the unconscious Hanley. He hasn't fulfilled his contract, so he's not allowed to die yet. As I continue pumping the cure wounds into him.
Excellent.
So I'm gonna
It
deal
doesn't
with
seem
this.
he's been-
I'm gonna deal with this. Would you mind just going to check on the other crew? Just make sure he's okay. And we, I don't want to pull from the party. Like, it seems like a great time, but we do have to get back at some point. So just, maybe ask.
Yeah, I'll
Jax will
go
look up
and
at the
check on
satyr
the
that's
other
with
ones.
them. Yeah, you can go check on
Yeah,
Thane. Okay.
go check on them.
Okay. You make your way weaving through the crowd, and almost imperceptibly, Shax, as you watch Zaros weave through the crowd, you watch him at first start to just kind of push through, and you see him slowly start to sway and bob and begin to dance with the music. You still make your way all the way to Tane, and Zaros, you don't even notice, but you are dancing.
Okay.
And you get up next to Tane, he looks at you and goes, "Ah, Master Zaros, how are you?"
What are we doing here?
"Reveling."
In what?
And he just kind of gestures around. "Look at it." And just kind of continues to dance. He's smiling at you and just dancing.
What about the ship?
"What about it? The ship's fine."
Wait, hold on. I'm forgetting names. Who's the captain?
"Hanley."
Hanley. Okay. The one that's on the table bleeding.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Hanley. Hanley is the captain. Tane is the hand.
One of the deckhand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Making sure I was getting the names right. Well, what happened to the captain? Why is he, bleeding and?
Oh, and again, Tane continues to dance, and Zaros, the slightly luminescent blue woman, has kind of shifted, so like you're in a triangle, and she's just kind of starting to dance ever so slightly closer to you. Occasionally, her hand kind of brushes your shoulder, like she is very subtly engaging you in dance. And Tane says, "Well, the spores, they showed up and they attacked. And Hanley told me to bail out. Anzim could deal, he doesn't have to breathe. So we jumped. Hanley caught the tree. Got a branch through his chest, so I started to drag him away because the spores started to swarm down around us, so I dragged him into the woods to try and keep him alive. And then these people found us."
Okay. Well, shouldn't we be getting back? We have things we must do.
Sure, but Hanley's got to rest, and we're reveling.
Enjoy your stay. Stay a while.
Yeah. It's the curse of the lotus flower.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Totally. No, it's totally not the curse of the lotus flower.
Shax will look up at the satyr that is tending to Hanley, and in Sylvan will ask,
What is this place?
The satyr looks up and smiles. She goes, "The forest, dear."
Indeed. It seems this is a nice, secluded pocket of it. How?
Dam provides.
and he'll look over at the slightly luminescent lady and look back at the satyr.
"Oh, no, dear. That's not Dam. That's Gina."
Who is Dam then?
Gem.
Yeah. Well, they're talking in Sylvan. Do I even understand what they're saying?
You understand the word "damn" because Sylvan is to Latin. Sylvan is Latin essentially. It is the root language of Elvish, and you can speak Elvish. Let me.
Yeah, this was not an attempt to get around Gem's languages. This was an attempt to speak in something the satyr would know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the moment you hear that name. You know. Dam is a member of the Seelie court. He is the patron deity of song, dance, celebration, the patron of satyrs and the forest.
Still under the effect of whatever the hell this is. In a slightly more like panicked voice, but like not entirely panicked, but more like assertive.
As panicked as you can be under
it-
the spell of this.
Right, yeah. Is Dan here? I will say in Elvish.
She looks at you, she smiles, and responds in Elvish. He should be back shortly, dear.
Ah. Can I feel panic under the effect of this?
For just a moment, a little bit of panic rises. And then, very
that
suddenly,
In that moment, in that tiny aspect of clarity, I look to Shax. We need to leave.
and then a pulse, a warm blanket rolls over you of comfort, emanating from a space as a tall, elvish man steps into the clearing, carrying a 12-point buck over his shoulders. Bare-chested, wearing nothing but, like, I don't know what you call it, but essentially when they have just, like, the, like, almost like a skirt wrap, just made of furs and leathers.
Like a
Almost like a kilt.
toga without the top.
Basically, yeah.
Toga without the top part.
Exactly. I know there's a technical name for it out there somewhere. I don't know what it is. But
Yeah.
made of just greens and browns and golden colors. Long auburn hair pulled back into a massive, like, length of braids. Almost dreadlock style, but very, very just tight, Celtic styled braids, essentially. Barefooted and just gleaming bronze skin, steps in with this massive buck on his shoulders.
Would I recognize this as Dan?
You've never seen the man himself, and
No,
you.
but I've probably seen depictions of all of them.
He is typically depicted as a Korid, the small gnome-like creatures with massive heads. This is clear to you. This is an Eladrin, the purest Fey version of elves.
And they don't really exist much anymore, do they?
Very, very rarely.
I would not. So just clarification. I would not recognize this one as Dam.
It is not what you recognize as his typical depiction.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Would I recognize this person as Dam? If not, I would be powerfully intrigued about getting a few quotes from an Eladrin.
Roll me an Arcana check.
That's kind of where I'm going. I'm like, if I know this is Dam, I am not getting close. If I don't think this is Dam, this is an amazing source of information that I would love to write down.
I'm gonna wait till you don't do a roll, then I want a moment.
I was gonna say I saw you think something.
Oh god.
That's a natural one. There was an 18 and a 1 because they're both a disadvantage. Oh, God.
Seems like an Eladrin to you.
Dope. I'm gonna wait. Have I finished pumping in the healing into my captain?
Yes.
How are
And
they
Oh,
looking?
Captain.
you have stabilized him. He is still unconscious.
Right, but is he still bleeding?
No, there is intense bruising and discolored skin in the space now, but it is no longer pouring blood.
Okay, I would. Okay, then what I would do is I would Okay, so I've done a fair amount of healing in my time at this point. with like to myself or other people or things of that nature.
Yeah.
Would I gather that a level 1 cure wounds would finish the healing process?
I would say you gather that whatever the satyr is doing is probably going to be enough.
I don't care what the satyr's doing.
Then yes, you gather that another spell of that magnitude would definitely keep him from dying.
Well, I want to heal him. I want to like I don't want I'm not quite bringing the consciousness, but I want to heal him. Period.
Then you are fairly sure that it would take a spell of equal or greater caliber of what you've already given him. Hanley is a sturdy individual. In fact, I would say even through this calmness that settles over you, seeing Hanley so badly injured
Yeah.
has shaken you. Because
no.
you are a powerful individual, but you typically move by yourself, and who you are you have gathered enemies, and you are a figure that would do well to be ransomed kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Hanley has easily staved off many incursions against you.
Yeah. So another 3rd level, I think, would heal him.
If you're trying to get him back to full hit points, if you want to get meta on it, another 3rd level would probably do it if the dice roll was good for you.
I'm gonna pump another 3rd level into him.
Okay.
Hanley is important. Okay. So 8, a 3, and another 8. So 8, 8, 3. 16, 19 plus, plus
4.
Plus 4.
So that's 23, 23 and 24. Okay.
Does he look like he's good? Like he is healed?
The color has returned to his skin, and his breath has stopped rattling. He is still unconscious.
That's okay. I just want to make sure he is healed.
From what you can see of him, he's healed.
That's first and foremost, just make sure my captain is good.
Respect.
Then I will lean over to Shax while looking at the Eladrin. Can you keep an eye on Henry for me?
While Jem is pouring more magic into Hanley, I would like Shax to have leaned over to the satyr while looking at the Eladrin who's entering the clearing and say,
Damn.
She looks up, and her smile breaks into, it is breaking her face smile. She goes, "Yes, dear. That is damn."
I'm assuming I hear this while.
Damn.
I'm assuming I hear this while they're talking.
You do.
I no longer want to get an issue.
No.
I wanted to have the moment where it's just Shax's like, damn, damn, damn.
Damn.
He is a beautiful man.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Celia and Uncelia are gods of the material plane. Well, maybe not the material plane.
Fey realm. They
You know
are
what
the
I
gods of the Fey.
It is
they are
the
the
beauty
god-
of elves mixed with the beauty of celestials.
Essentially, yeah.
Because they're kind of bits of both.
Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding.
The
Unfair beauty is what you're
yeah.
calling
For classification, you would say the Celia and Uncelia courts fall in the realm of Archfey, but I think they actually fall above it.
it. Yeah.
They are, yeah, they are deities.
Yeah.
They may not be able to go hand to hand with Bahamut, but they could take on lesser deities
Well,
of the material planes.
They're deities. They're not prime deities.
Exactly. They are incredibly powerful beings.
Yes.
Yeah, prime deities are prime deities.
Yeah.
But,
Those are gods with capital
We're not going
G's.
toe to toe with the triad, but
yeah,
they're gods.
they're still gods.
Exactly.
Yeah. I redact what I said. I am not.
Howard.
The Unsealing Court threatened me before we started this mission, alright?
That's alright, because as you were like, oh, I don't want to interview you, Dam smiles at you.
Are you sure?
I am uncomfortable.
He unshoulders the massive deer to a set of elves who begin prepping it for cooking, and he makes his way forward to you all. Well, not to you, Zaris, because you're over partying, unless you've made your way back.
I probably would have started to make my way back after getting like no headway with him. Just like he has no idea what's going on here.
You're not dancing with the blue girl?
You guys don't go back home.
Yeah, nah. I'm too busy about thinking about someone else.
I would say you are still dancing as you move back through the crowd. And Shax, even you notice you have a very trained instinctual mind, and again, you are resistant to things of this nature in just an innate sense. Your foot's tapping right along with the music. There's just while you're here, you want to eat and drink and be merry. This is so nice.
It's probably, I can't resist it, but I'm aware of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your nature has made you vigilant to this, so the others haven't noticed, and Jem hasn't noticed, but her foot is tapping as well, as long as one of her hands. Now that she's no longer healing Hanley, she is bobbing along with the music.
One hand is in Hanley's hand after I heal.
That's adorable.
I don't want my captain dead. No one else.
It's cute.
No one else is worthy of piloting that ship.
What she means is nobody else would tolerate her ass.
Yes, 100%. So he can't die.
And she knows it.
Yes. So hard
What
to find a good
is-
captain nowadays.
Okay.
Yes.
We feel comfortable here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we feel as comfortable as we would be like in our own homes?
Very much so. You
Okay.
feel at ease. But Shax, with who you are and just your fey nature, you know you shouldn't feel that comfortable here. This is a place you don't know.
Yeah. Being being aware of these things and realizing and the very brief remark from Jem as this Eladrin starts to approach, Shax will take his helmet off.
Knew it.
Hell yeah.
One, because he's comfortable, even though he's aware that he shouldn't be comfortable here, he is that comfortable. And also because he recognizes, once again, we are in the presence of someone who is powerful, and the helmet's not going to do a whole lot here.
Okay.
So he would rather be comfortable and polite. And so he will take off his helmet, put it at his side, and give a comfortable smile as this person approaches.
And Dam beams at all of you. Spreads his arms. Welcome, friends. How are you tonight?
I give a light curtsy. Damn. Good question.
Shax will give a fairly moderate bow.
We are better now that we know our comrades are safe and in good hands.
Yes, Elena here heard the commotion in the forest and went to check. And brought forth your friends, bleeding and wounded. I had her tend to them right away.
It is greatly appreciated.
And Shax will say, like, nodding to Elena.
No innocent blood spilled in my forests. Can't allow that.
In that vein, do you know was that attacked my men?
A very unhappy spirit of the forest. They are seeking something they've lost. And they are lashing out.
I'm assuming it's nothing that can be given.
Something one of a kind, I'm afraid.
I'm sorry for their loss, but I do not relinquish my crew that easily.
As you should not. I respect that. And Dam raises his hand. And all three of you feel the effects of this presence wane. You are still calm and comfortable, but the urge to dance has faded.
What?
Thank you for the trust.
Yes,
Oh. No, it is not a trick or a ploy. It is simply the effect of my home.
It is an impressive place in a surrounding that is otherwise fairly hostile. What you have made here is impressive to say the least.
This is anywhere I wish it to be. And as he gestures around, you look and you realize the trees that face this clearing, they are not trees of the withered forest. They are beautiful oaks and fir trees and healthy living trees. Though you are fairly certain as you passed into this clearing, the trees you passed were still the skeletal bark of the withered forest.
A sanctuary of your own making, it seems.
I must let my people be safe.
As you should.
It is Dam's duty to provide. I can provide for you as well. We have never-ending food and drink, and you are welcome by my fires.
Until my crew has rested, I appreciate the consideration. Thank you. And I give a deeper bow that I didn't with the so I show respect.
As he says this, another wave that blankets over you of just that warmth. It feels like your father or your mother wrapping you in for a hug just rolls over you, and you are deeply tempted to stay and dance and drink here with Dam.
If we stay till the captain has awakened.
Of course, you are welcome to stay as long as you'd like. You'll never go hungry here.
Your hospitality is most generous. Honored.
You there, young one.
I'm just still kind of like dancing. Oh yes.
Grooving.
Yeah, how's it going?
I believe my dear Gina is making eyes at you, friend. And as you look over, she is still dancing with Tane, but she is focused on you. Zaros got away with the ladies.
I have noticed, but another has my heart currently.
Well, what happens in the revelry stays in the revelry, boy.
There it is.
All with the god's blessing, of course.
Vegas of the Feywild.
Yeah. That's why I said party hippies.
You're not wrong at this point.
Well, I've brought dinner. So please, relax. Partake of the drink and the dance, enjoy the fire, and food will be ready soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That is greatly appreciated.
Of course. We must revel while we can.
I stay by the captain.
Okay. What's everybody
I
else
might-
doing?
I might feel comfortable, but I don't trust. Because I don't trust.
Shax will. You probably wouldn't believe this. Shax isn't much of a dancer. He
What?
he will
Never
set down
would've
his stuff
guessed.
nearby, though. He will take off his pack and leave behind his helmet and his sword and everything. He'll leave on his gear just because it's what he's comfortable in. But he will find a tree or something nearby the group to kind of go and lean against, and he will tap his foot and clap his hands and basically party watch kind of thing.
Okay.
Head bobber.
The way that he enjoys himself most often and the most, just in general, is by watching other people feel safe and have a good time. That is what he has done for hundreds of
gets
years
up on
now.
That is literally been his job of making sure people feel safe.
And when there are parties and celebrations and that kind of stuff, he is often invited to these things, and he's happy to be there. He usually stands on the fringe and enjoys people enjoying themselves, and makes sure that nothing bad happens.
Enjoys the
So
fruits of
while-
his labor.
Yes. And so while he isn't worried, he can't be worried about anything bad happening here. This is his reflexive thing, to go stand on the side and enjoy people enjoying themselves.
Okay. Jem, you're staying by Hanley.
Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna just because it's a magical thing. I'm gonna leave it up to the die. So 1 through 3, Jem joins the party. 4 through 6, she stays with Hanley and stays focused on task at hand.
All right.
2, she joins the party.
Okay. Jem lets her hair down and starts to dance.
Jem lets her hair down, and for standard affair, she shows what she does. So she creates the blue dragon. Circles it around.
Hell yeah. And the people here hoot and holler and cheer and just love it. There's zero panic, and they are enthralled by this. And Zaros, you and Jax as well, you both recognize this blue flaming dragon from the celebration of life at the Grumman Brothers compound. And it clicks into place that, oh, that was her.
Indeed.
Zaros,
Hold on.
what you
Yeah,
doing, buddy?
Hold on, I'm going to roll as well to see what I might do.
Hell yeah.
It seems the fairest way with like magical shit like this.
Yeah. I already have a D20 because I have multiple different things I'm thinking about doing.
Okay. He's gonna go get some with Gina.
He might.
He will dance with Gina, but that is it.
Attaboy. Her and Tane both are very happy to see you return, and they continue their little trio dance with you, though Gina gets a little bit closer to you, kind of lets her hands run on your shoulders and in your hair a little bit. She doesn't seem to be, like, pursuing in any kind of aggressive way, but she's just she's reveling.
Enjoying.
Yeah, he's there to have like a little bit of a good time, but he still feels that like in his head, like he'll have a little fun just to have fun, but he doesn't care to pursue anything, especially because like he's kind of on a job.
Get it? And as you...
No, he was on a job last time too.
When he pursues it.
You know?
Sure. And as you give in and begin to dance, the music, which was just a wonderful mix of all kinds of things, takes up this heavy note of a violin that is incredibly familiar to you, and it just brings warmth to your heart, and you just begin to sway with it. Jem, as you give in and begin to dance, the music takes you to warm nights in a modest home in the Oak Forge. And you hear the peals of laughter and the deep booms of laughter of your mother and your father and your sibling, and it just echoes around you and again fills you with warmth, like you just chugged down a mug of hot cocoa on a winter's day. It just, you are warmed and comforted from within and gleeful, and every bit of stress falls from your shoulders. There is no fear of losing control. It's gone. And Shax, as you lean and bob your head and allow your fingers and foot to tap away, you watch as Dam goes over and helps skin and prep this massive buck to be roasted, and then lifts it just up on his shoulder and puts it by a fire to be cooked. Not a drop of mess on him doing the whole thing. He turns and he smiles at you and comes your way. So, friend, what brings you to my forest?
For me, simply work. Though, what brings me is a longer story than that. But just to this location, or where we were before we were here, I suppose. Some ruins, or perhaps what we thought were ruins. An investigation on Jem's part. A mere scientific curiosity. Turned a bit sour, but not a failure overall. No spores though, that's spirits. Just the second encounter we've had with that. What does it search for?
That is a complicated question. But I guess you could say it seeks one of its children.
A theme. Is there any appeasing it?
That even I do not know. There are things in this forest as ancient as we. Maybe not as powerful, but just
Indeed.
as old. But there's no worry of that here in the revelry. No stress.
Indeed. There will be another time for stress. But I enjoy this. It is not often I cannot count because I cannot remember a time I have been this relaxed.
It could be this way for the rest of your days, dear friend. You are welcome here in the revelry. All are.
Perhaps someday. You know our kind. We reach an age where it becomes more attractive. But I'm not there yet. And while there are injustices enough here, my home has injustices abounding. And I cannot find true rest until I can help negate some of that. So no, if I do accomplish what I set out to do there, you may have convinced me enough to perhaps settle here at some point.
Well, you are here now. And he reaches forward and grabs your hands and pulls you into the throng of people and begins to essentially puppeteer dance you, like just leaping and frolicking, swinging your arms. It is like you're playing Ring Around the Rosie through all these people.
Yep. Shax knows that physically and emotionally, there's nothing he can do or probably wants to do to resist this. This is not normally what he does, but we're here.
Bring around the
He
Rosie
vibes.
with God.
I'll start to mosh pit. I'll start to mosh pit with him.
You will literally die.
Elbows, just elbows.
He'll lightly tap you and send you halfway across the woods.
Do you do it?
Probably.
Do you do it?
Just a little bit. Yeah, I will.
All right. As you swing around, you watch as Zaros just starts to kind of dance intensely and throw elbows and hits Dam. And for just a second, everything goes silent. You can't even hear the crackle of flame. The entire forest silences.
Well, we lost one then.
Just for the briefest of moments. And then he smiles and laughs, and the music starts up, and it is the medieval equivalent of heavy metal that plays. And everybody starts to get it, and now there is a mosh pit, and Dam is right in it. And he throws an elbow right back. And it doesn't hurt at all.
Nice. I go fucking wild, dude.
Hell yeah.
Well, I guess if that's the vibe that's happening, the dragon that I'm forming kind of dives in between people as it happens.
Hell yeah.
That's the vibe that's happening now, and Jem is kind of given into the vibe of the place. So.
Hell yeah. Cheer, and you go on and on and on. And time begins to slip and pass. And you feel no desire to stop dancing.
I will keep through the partying. I keep an eye on the captain. I want to, when he wakes, I go to him.
Okay. As you continue to dance, and every now and again casting glances at the table, eventually the satyr is gone, and the captain rests. You continue to dance, and food is served, and you eat, and you drink, and you dance. And then you spin around one of the bonfires. Take a glance at the table. The captain is gone. And you hear right in your ear, "Partying without me, milady."
I turn, see him standing there. I give him a big hug. like we don't feel stress. It's all gone in this area. But like when I saw that he was gone, panic ensued, just naturally. And then I hear him, so I give him a hug, just to.
You just, still a little tender there.
I'm sorry. Are you? Besides the sore, are you okay?
I feel amazing. This place is incredible. And you notice the ever-present bags under his eyes, the tired expression. As long as you have known him, Hanley has seemed haggard.
Yeah.
Gone.
I don't know if that makes me feel better or makes me worried. State of being for this man is gone. Don't get me wrong, it's a healthy state of being, like that he's at now, but like still kind of worrying.
His skin is practically glowing.
Can we take a seat for a moment? I'm dancing for a while.
Sure, of course. And he walks by and picks up a drinking horn and begins to drink. And follows you and takes a seat.
What happened?
Anzen was keeping watch. It was nighttime, it was time to sleep. Then suddenly he opened the hatch, the sound of the alarm. Climbed up, saw the spores. Well, I remembered what happened last time.
Yes.
Did the only thing I could think to do. We jumped. Told Anzen to stay with the ship, knew he couldn't die. Needed to make sure it wouldn't get taken away. And,
He is below deck currently. I think deactivated.
well, at the very least, he can't die. And you or Master Nolan can track him.
We can. We will. The ship is still there.
Perfect.
I thinking about that. I look up. Time of day. How much has actually passed?
It seems to be evening.
And it was almost night.
It was night.
It was night. So we've been dancing an entire night and day.
Possibly.
Possibly.
And Hanley goes, "It's alright, I'm sure your ship is fine."
I am sure my ship is fine.
He has never called it your ship before.
No, I know he hasn't. But I think we should possibly get it back.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
As joyous as this has been.
Well, I just woke up. I'd like to drink and maybe revel a little.
For a little. I think that would be alright. But we do need to be getting back.
Of course, my lady.
Please enjoy. You deserve it.
Absolutely.
I'll stay at the table. And I want to keep a weather eye on the horizon. I
Okay.
want to keep an eye on what time of day it is.
Okay.
I'm still tapping my foot and enjoying, but like I want to keep a weather eye on what time it is.
Okay. Hanley gets up, brings the drinking horn with him, and slips into this crowd of people and begins to dance. The sky doesn't seem to grow any darker while you watch. And as you look around, you notice that Dam is gone. And a short while later, he returns. This time carrying a large bear over his shoulder. Places it. Helps begin to carve it and prep it for being cooked. He looks up and he smiles.
It's
Walks over. I see your captain has healed and joined the revelry.
Yes, thankfully. I was worried for him.
There's no need for worry here.
Seemingly not. But I think in due time we should be having that. There are things that need to be done.
Isn't that the truth? My time here is limited as well.
How so? You are a god of revelry, savor, joy, and your time is theoretically endless. No?
Yes, but there's responsibilities to be held. Court will soon be in session.
Right. There is a court in the city. You will be attending, I'm assuming.
No choice in the matter.
Any idea which way you'll vote? I understand it's probably above what I should know, but I'm genuinely curious.
If I have my way, what do you think I would vote?
To keep the peace here.
Of course.
Revelry going here. Maybe not go to war. Does it seem your cup of tea? You could do it, but does it seem something you wish for?
I wish for my children to experience joy and celebration.
Yes.
I do not wish to send them to die.
Yes. I do see where you're coming from, and I understand. I feel exactly the same way. I truthfully, and I look to where Zaros and Shax are and make sure they're not within earshot.
Dancing the night away.
I don't entirely feel one way or another. I know that people are currently on the other side, and it's wrong, and something should be done. But I don't know if the people that gave them safe harbor should be the ones to also be their salvation.
And they are still welcome to come here.
Yes. Yeah.
And the portals are open, clearly. And he gestures at Zaros and Shax.
It's not quite as open as you think.
It's the same way that they all came through before. And they are welcome. We offer food and drink and safety here in the Fae. There is more than enough for everybody.
What I've got from knowing Gromley is that it's not quite known on the other side that the portals are available to those who seek refuge.
Well, maybe somebody should let them know. That or oblivion will swallow them all.
That is the other alternative that I've been informed of. Something's not done soon, that the Imperial plane will just cease to exist.
It'll be a little more explosive than that.
Yes, no one has. I don't want to say drone dawn because things no one says is always important, but it's very adamant about this being solved properly.
I understand where he comes from. But I also know what your compatriots plan to do. And ponder this. Open a gateway to an indeterminate time to a plane that has an indeterminate amount of time left to exist. And when it... And he holds out his hand, and a small explosion and then implosion happens in his hand.
That's not terrifying at all.
Would you want to have an active connection to this?
I gesture to myself. I am fire and explosion. Personally, I wouldn't want to be at the epicenter of it, but maybe in a hand of preventing it. I don't think we truly know whether or not that plane doing, in addition to his hand, that would not have an adverse effect on us.
I have it on good confidence that if we leave things as they are, we'll be just fine. But opening a pathway, we may not fare so well.
Don't we already have pathways? It's an additional land. Let's play pathways.
The portals are different than gouging a hole.
I theoretically understand this. I'm still worried, very worried to know that that's something that on the other side that's out of our control to cause me to affect us. Something outside of our plane. So, personally, I like to err on the side of caution in these situations, and not having a next to us seems to be the most cautious route, regardless of the loss of life. I know it's not I should say popular term, popular opinion, but it makes no sense to me at least.
It's not an unpopular opinion either.
Well, amongst the Sealy and unsealy.
It sways.
Really? I thought it was more one-sided than that. Not saying that everyone wants to keep their own to themselves, but it's just I kind of got the vibe that it was very much nah, let them deal with their own thing.
It is much more evenly divided than you would expect.
Interesting.
This vote will be close. And it may even bring war to our own people regardless.
Whether a question is answered or not, the simple fact that a question exists can sometimes bring out.
You are wise for one so young.
I learned from the best. Who's that to say?
The human is very smart.
Very. Sorry, I didn't mean to occupy your time.
As you said, my time is endless. Though you already spent much time here.
Yes, that's what I've been noticing. I did want to wait for my captain to be alright. He said he wanted to transfer a bit, so I wanted to leave him alone to dance for a little while. But we do need to be getting back to the ship soon.
If that is what you wish. I would never stop you. But you are more than welcome to stay and revel.
I may come back. This has been quite nice.
Has been. And your captain should feel right as rain. A few days of sleeping will do that to you.
Yes, he's needed it. Wait, a few days?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Sorry.
Not to be rude or anything. For my crew, could you do what you did earlier? Maybe suppress the good tidings for a moment so I can get their attentions?
Sure. And he lifts his hands, and Zaros, Shax, you feel the desire to dance and revel immediately stop. You are still calm and comfortable.
I'm gonna immediately walk up to both of them and just like, you can tell Zaros has definitely been like thinking very deeply.
While rock.
Do you mind if I ask you a question? It is something that I've been pondering about, and someone that has more influence and probably information. I don't know if you'd be able to answer the question or not, but I figured I would ask. Not you.
Damn.
Gotcha. Damn.
He looks at
Yeah.
you, and of course, friend.
Is anyone aware of what caused the magical disconnection of the ethereal plane between all other realms except for the Fey realm?
That is a deep question. And
I'd love
yes,
to know the answer to that too.
yes, there are people who are aware of what happened.
Does the fact that it happened to the ethereal plane and the magical cleanse not scare anybody?
You ask a fair question. No, it does not scare us.
I am just curious, that is all.
It is not something that could happen elsewhere.
Interesting.
Your enemies have chained something up in the material plane that is not meant to be chained. And
More specifically, and you realize Jem has her notebook out.
unfortunately, that is as specific as I can be, child.
Interesting.
But I can tell you, what you know is coming will be caused by those chains snapping.
You see, Zaros just goes back into a deep thought and walks away.
Think of it as if you've chained a stone over the mouth of a geyser. Eventually, the pressure will build, and that geyser will burst forth.
And that geyser won't come for us next.
No, of course not. The geyser is a friend.
Thinking in Jem's head, is there anyone on Sealy or Sealy Court missing that they have heard of?
No.
Okay, got it. Fantastic. I appreciate the information. It has been an absolute pleasure spending days, and I say this loud enough that both Shax and Zaros can hear, literal days here, enjoying your time. I think it is time.
It has been my pleasure to allow you to revel.
Thank you very much.
What does that even mean? I don't even know. And I
Captain?
just start walking away again.
Nope, Zaros, we're going. We're going.
No, I was walking like back towards the ship.
The captain immediately is by your side, and Tane at his. Yes, milady.
I can spend a several days traveling and enjoying ourselves. But it's time for us to
You're the boss.
and I will give him a deep curtsy. Thank you very much, my lord.
You are very welcome. You make good points. And this time he's looking at you, Shax. Maybe you should continue to do so.
Do my best. Glancing at Jax. Glancing back. Let us be on.
Indeed,
Good luck.
it is appreciated. I hope to see you again.
I'm sure you will. I'll be in the city soon.
I have no idea where we're going from here.
To the ship.
And from there, who knows?
We will see each other in the city soon.
I will take your word for it. Well met, and thank you again for your time.
Well met, Shax. And Zaros.
Yes. Oh, it was wonderful meeting you. I had quite a bit of fun.
Yes, I hope you took good care of my dear Gina. It's not often that my sister likes a mortal.
Well, I hope to see you both around again sometime. And he just like blushes and just walks off. He's like, I don't know what to say to that.
How do I psychologically handle that? I
He
just turned down a god.
he looks at you, Jim, and he winks.
Probably literally can't tell, but Jen blushes ever so slightly and gives him another small curtsy and then keeps leaving.
All right.
But now you get to go back to the material plane and be like, I turned down a goddess for you, by the way. Like,
Yeah. Get some fucking points on that board.
Better not be
Yeah.
dead.
Nah, you think anybody can kill her? Come on.
Yeah, fingers are crossed. Fingers are crossed. All right. You head towards the edge of the clearing, and as you step past the tree line, instantly the trees are the withered bone trees again. And you turn back, and the sounds of dance and song and revelry and the glowing fires are gone.
So it's been literal days of good vibes. Am I still 1 point of exhaustion?
You haven't rested.
That's fucked.
Lamau.
That's so fucked up. He gets to sleep for days, but I get to keep my point of exhaustion.
I will say, though, that you all are at full hit points. And you were able to make your way back through the forest to the ship. And that's where we're going to pick up next session. Hey! Everybody, have a good night, folks. Thanks for watching. And we'll see what this crew gets up to next time.
Yeah, and I'll be in a different state.
True dat. All right. Peace, everybody.
Right.
Peace.
Who rocked the party that rocked the body?